What's up, folks? Riley Evans here again, back at you with another video all about all things fitness, health, nutrition related from a 100%, as I open this door, body positive perspective. Thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure, if you like this content, click like, click subscribe, you know the whole deal. Now, before I actually get into today's content, which you can see from the title, is the best vegetarian or vegan protein sources, I just want y'all to know what I go through for you, okay? I want you to know I'm down here putting in this work so that I can get you the best health, fitness, and nutrition related body positive content on the face of the planet. So, right now, my partner is upstairs in the middle of her working day, as she does. She works for the government, and as such is currently working at home during the pandemic. So naturally, in order to make sure that I'm not disturbing her, I gotta lug all my stuff, all my things, down about 7 flights of stairs, 2 trips, just for you. So if you've ever wondered whether or not I was worth clicking that like button, clicking that subscribe button, now is the time, because I'm doing everything for you. It's all for you, because I love you. So, not too bad. Might look like I'm sitting on a stoop, like I'm about to start a 1993 rap video, but it'll do for now. So, we're here today talking about everybody's favorite macronutrient, protein. So why does everybody love protein? Well, it's because it's the macronutrient responsible for building, maintaining, and repairing muscle tissue. As you know, muscle mass and muscle strength is very much an important part of being the happiest, healthiest version of yourself, because that's what we do here. So why are we talking about specifically vegetarian and vegan protein sources? I personally identify as what's called a flexitarian or a semi-vegetarian. Now, that means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but my personal definition for flexitarian is the fact that while I do sometimes / semi-occasionally consume meat products, they are not a regular feature of my diet. Meaning that I don't rely upon meat or meat products in order to hit the macronutrient or nutritional targets that I have for myself. Now, the scientific literature is a little bit all over the place when it comes to protein targets, but the general consensus is that athletes or people that engage in regular resistance training should be looking to get somewhere between 0.8 grams and 1.2 grams of protein on the daily per pound of body weight.
Hey folks, quick point of clarification on that, because I'm a dummy. If you're somebody who is heavier because you happen to carry more body fat than the average person would, that does not mean that you have to still eat 1 gram of protein per pound of actual body weight. If you're looking for what would be a more optimal target for your protein intake, jump onto Google and find out what the average weight for somebody of your height or frame would be, and use that as your initial target for protein intake on a daily basis. Back to the actual video.
And having made the switch from an omnivorous diet to one that is much more heavily plant-based, I know from firsthand experience that it requires a lot more conscious thought for people who don't regularly consume meat to hit those targets. It's still totally doable. You can absolutely hit your protein targets while maintaining a vegetarian or vegan lifestyle, but the most regularly available protein sources that we always hear about in content like this, meaning meat, are obviously not regular options for us. So I wanted to take this opportunity to share with you an array of different sources of protein that fit into a vegetarian or vegan diet. Now, quick caveat. One of the sources of protein that I will be talking about today is not vegan. It's very obviously an animal byproduct, but it's something that vegetarians can eat, and it is too good of a protein source for me to leave out of a video like this. But aside from that one, which will be very obvious when I get to it, everything else that I'm going to mention today is absolutely acceptable as part of a fully vegan diet. The first one, and this one's not exactly a shocker, is going to be vegan protein powder. Now, protein powder is obviously a regular fixture within the diets of all of the fitness influencers that you see on a regular basis, but I wanted to make a point of bringing it up here for a couple reasons. First of all, the vast majority of the time when you're seeing fitness influencers consume protein powder, you're going to be looking at either whey or casein protein powder, both of which are derived from dairy sources and therefore not something that's an option within a vegan diet. I wanted to make sure that everybody who's watching this video knows that there are alternative options. There's a lot of great companies out there, Vega being the one that I personally use. They're not sponsoring me yet, but they produce a variety of different products which have a full range of amino acids. We're talking complete proteins that are just as effective in building and repairing muscle as a whey or casein protein source. One of my favorite things about protein powders is that they're not, by any stretch of the imagination, a uniform product. For example, I've got here both Vega Sport and Vega 1 protein. Vega Sport protein puts a priority on the actual protein content. You can see it's got 30 grams per serving. Vega 1 has 20 grams of protein per serving, but it's formulated in order to include a wider array of different micronutrients within it. So if you're looking for something that's more of an all-around nutritional supplement for your overall health, as opposed to something that strictly optimizes building and repairing muscle, then you have options for that as well. And obviously Vega is not alone in having multiple formulas for people with different goals. So whatever protein powder company you like, you'll probably be able to look through multiple different options to find the one that is most suited for what you're trying to accomplish. The second thing that I wanted to get to is egg whites. Now, obviously, egg whites are not vegan. They're derived from eggs, which come as a byproduct of animals. But for those ovo-inclusive vegetarians I'm talking to out there, I have one word to describe egg whites: efficiency. Egg whites are probably the most purely efficient source of protein when you're talking on a calorie per calorie basis that you can find, even more so than protein powder. 1 cup of egg whites, which is about 100 calories, contains 26 grams of protein. 26, which is an equivalent, if not superior, calorie to protein ratio than pretty much any lean meat source you can find. Now, on this channel, we're 100% body positive, and we think fat phobia is bullshit. If you're happy with the skin that you're in, at the size that you're at, nobody should ever be able to tell you that you need to change. And the great thing about egg whites and that protein efficiency that they offer is that they fit into literally any nutritional plan, regardless of what your goals are. Whether you're trying to lose weight, trying to gain weight, or trying to stay exactly where you are. Egg whites offer you the opportunity to chock your diet full of protein without having to really change anything else. And if you're someone like me who's a big fan of whole eggs, I eat omelets 5 or 6 days a week, but are worried about the amount of cholesterol that are in whole eggs and what that's gonna do to your heart, something I like to do is mix whole eggs with egg whites, which have no cholesterol in it, to bring down the overall cholesterol numbers to a healthier limit. Now, if I wanted to, I could probably fill the rest of the list with the various forms of meat alternative substances that you see frequently in vegetarian and vegan diets, but that wouldn't be very fun. So I decided to pick one. And the meat alternative that I've chosen for inclusion on the list is seitan. Seitan is a meat alternative that's derived primarily from gluten. And the reason that I chose seitan as the entry on this list is frankly because it has the most protein. Obviously, protein amounts will vary depending on specifically how the seitan is made, but on average, seitan can contain around 25 grams of protein per 100 grams of seitan. I know there are probably some folks watching this that are gluten intolerant, and seitan is literally made out of gluten, so that may not be an option for you. In your case, then you can obviously look towards any of the soy-derived protein forms that we're used to seeing. The 3 most common of which are tofu, tempeh, and edamame. And between the 3 of those, you can find anywhere from 10 to up to 19 grams of protein per 100 grams. It goes without saying that the meat alternatives are excellent options for new vegetarians or people like me that just really miss eating meat on a regular basis and want to find something similar within our new dietary goals. Now the next entry on the list is a tie because they both graded out approximately the same. I'm talking about beans and lentils. Beans and lentils both grade out at having approximately 20 to 22 grams of protein per 300 calorie serving. And the great thing about them and other protein-rich vegetables is the fact that because they're vegetables, they also have a variety of different micronutrients that you might be missing from your diet if you just focus on things like protein powder and egg whites or meat alternatives. They're also higher in carbs than some of the options that I've mentioned previously, and we here on this channel are not carbophobes. We think that all three of the macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fats, have regular and important places in a balanced and healthy diet. Ultimately, beans and lentils allow you to get protein from sources that are dense and physically filling your stomach, but also have value in terms of the micronutrients that they're going to provide to your overall diet. I also wanted to be able to add a condiment to the list, and when I was doing research, the protein values on this particular item blew my mind. I'm talking about nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is very well known for being a vegan cheese replacement because it has a very naturally cheesy flavor. It often finds itself on top of the pastas of vegans as a replacement for something like Parmesan cheese. Not only is it an excellent source of fiber, coming in at 7 grams of fiber per ounce, so about 28 grams, but 1 ounce of nutritional yeast can have, depending on production, up to 14 grams of protein. 1 ounce of the stuff, that's 14 free grams of protein, which well outpaces cheese in the same volumes. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not giving up cheese, I love cheese, but when you're just talking about protein content, nutritional yeast blows cheese out of the water. You can also find fortified nutritional yeast, which has a lot of other micronutrients imbued into it, including B12, which amongst the vegan and vegetarian population is usually not super present in their diets because it's only found in animal products. Finally, as a little bonus half entry, I wanted to highlight a source of protein that most people don't really think about because it's so high in the macronutrient that it's most associated with. That would be pasta. Now, when we first think of pasta, we obviously think of carbohydrates, and there's a reason for that. An 85 gram cup of pasta has 60 odd grams of carbohydrates, but that same 85 gram cup, which is about 300 calories, also has 11 grams of protein. So if we're craving something carby, and we're also concerned about our protein intake, pasta is the perfect balancing act of that because not only will it fulfill your cravings for carbohydrates, delicious as they are, but it also is going to add a substantial amount of protein that you otherwise wouldn't have even thought about. That's going to be it for today. I hope you folks enjoyed this video. If you did, please, once again, subscribe to my channel for more body positive fitness, health, and nutrition content. Like the video, help me out in that algorithms. We're trying to grow this thing so that we can keep bringing you this kind of content. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Love ya!